Well, it's Christmas. Another year gone by. Blimey, where'd that go? So, first of all, wishing you all a great Christmas. It's not always great for everybody. That's the problem with this time of year. You know, it's a difficult time for some people. Difficult time for people that, you know, are on their own. Difficult time for people that have any kind of addictions. Because the pressure's really kind of on at Christmas to kind of fit the bill and join in and, you know, spend the money and drink the drink. You know, it's just one of those times of year when it's sort of all compounded. So, yeah, good luck with it. I mean, as I say, it is a difficult time. I'd like to thank everybody that's subscribed this year, everybody that's followed the channel. That's been really appreciated, and I hope that you've enjoyed the videos I've put out so far. There's more to come in the new year. As you know, there's a new motorcycle trip coming up. I really should use the equipment I've got here better. I've got a gimbal to stop all this shaking that's going on at the moment because I'm holding this with my hand, which I don't know why I do that, but I do it. It's just straightforward and it's dead easy. So yeah, so another trip. This one's looking great, down through France, across the Pyrenees, into Spain, across traversing sort of central Spain, north central Spain, and then into Portugal, and then up the Portuguese coast, back into the Picos Mountains, and some rather interesting roads up there before departing 1 month later on the ferry back to Plymouth. So it's going to be a good one. So whatever you're doing on bikes this year, or not bikes, depending who's watching this, I wish you all the very best. I wish you all the success for any plans you might have coming up. And I wish you a very safe time, obviously, particularly at the moment when, you know, the roads seem extremely busy. Down here in Cornwall at the moment, it's just manic. It's just traffic everywhere. And, you know, people are sort of not really paying too much attention to what they're doing and thinking about other things and, you know, rushing around to get ready for the festive events. And it's a difficult one. So do take care out there, particularly if you're on a motorcycle. Roads aren't great, you know, muddy, wet, slippery. Yeah. And I suppose also mention really, because it's a difficult time, as I did just previously mention, to anybody that's suffering with any, I don't know, mental health issues, alcohol issues. As you know, I'm abstainer from alcohol these days. Yeah, just a little bit more kind of, you know, on the alcohol issue, really. It's been about, I think, 5 years, might be coming up for 6 years now, since I stopped the dreaded drink. Which did play a large part in my life, as it does for many people. You know, it's one of those things that you kind of get involved with it and probably convince yourself that actually you're in charge of that you have a drink when you want to have a drink. And for many people that is possible, of course, that is the case. But for some people, and I think particularly now with the pressures are on, you know, I mean, there's so much pressure, isn't there? You know, cost of living, you know, trying to make ends meet, people rushing around, overcrowding, and, you know, it just seems just so easy to pick up a drink, kind of take the edge off everything, but not necessarily does that always work. Sometimes it makes the situation worse. So, you know, it used to be, well, I considered it to be very difficult to stop drinking, because I think one of the biggest thing about drink is the fact that if you've drunk as long as I did, I mean, basically from being a kid at school, you know, I used to go into the local pub at 15 and have a pint of mild, you know, 3 4/4, whatever it used to cost me back there. So it kind of becomes, you know, it's one of those things you do, and of course everything you do within your family and outside your family, you know, you go to a christening, you have a drink, you go to a wedding, you have a drink, you go to a funeral, you have a drink, you go to a party, you have a drink. It seems like we are, as a nation, pretty obsessed with and a drink in your hand all the time. So it's very difficult to kind of kick that habit, and it's very difficult to go, like I have, completely away from it all. But there are alternatives now, and it's a lot easier to do it if you still need a drink in your hand. And I feel I still need a drink in my hand. I feel like my hands are massive if I ain't got a drink in my hand if I go somewhere. So now there's so many alcohol-free alternatives that do taste really great. It's a shame that, unfortunately, when you go to pubs, there's probably about the same price, but they should be a lot lower. It's also been a bit bizarre that if you go and buy them at the supermarket, they do an age check on you, even though there's no alcohol in it, and they don't seem to have quite got the head around that, which is a bit strange. But it is widely available, and it is available in pubs now. You can go into a pub and you can get alcohol-free drink, which is great. It looks like a pint, tastes like a pint, but you're not risking yourself with any issues, particularly not driving, because apparently there's still a lot of that going on, which I find kind of weird, really, that people are still drink driving. I just, deplorable, really. But again, if you're kind of one of those sort of people that are addicted, then I suppose the idea that I can handle a couple of drinks or more is still in your mindset, but it's the mindset that we all need to, take note of and get out of. I also think it's interesting that, because I do a lot of Europe traveling now, that alcohol-free drinks are available across Europe, which, gosh, who'd have thought the French would be drinking non-alcohol wines and even pastis, which I used to drink a lot of when I lived in France. Ricard, now do a zero Ricard, and it tastes just pretty much the same. So really, there's lots of opportunities now to ditch a drink, and we've got Dry January coming up, so it's a good opportunity if you really do fancy it. But the basic moral of this story, or this little, few words that I'm speaking at the moment, is just to kind of have a drink by all means. But if it's affecting you or it's affecting your family, then you need to put the brakes on, really. And a bit like riding a motorbike, really. Don't put the front brake on, otherwise you're going to crash. Put the back brake on slowly and slowly reduce the amount of alcohol that you're drinking, and find some alternatives, and you'll find it's a lot better life without it. It's a lot cheaper without it, and of course you can get out every day and enjoy the world with a clear vision, clear mind. And rest assured, I do know for a fact, I'm just talking from experience here, that if you are feeling particularly down, the drink doesn't make it any better. It makes it worse. So have a good, safe Christmas, a dry one. I look forward to seeing you in the new year, and I think the next thing to do really with the vlogs is to kind of take you out and about around here, really. I'm hoping, if my funds stretch to it, to invest in one of these new 360 cameras, which would make life a lot easier for me as a solo traveller, for getting some more interesting footage for the vlogs. And so I've got that in my mind. It all just depends on, for like many people, the finances, because they're not cheap, these things. But we'll see if we can stretch to that before I embark really on next year's trip. And I'm just gonna briefly show you in a minute what I call my biking corner, because as you know, the bike comes in the winter. I don't go out on the roads in the winter around here. It's mud, it's dodgy, slippery, dangerous. It's not enjoyable. The new bike I have, which is the Triumph Thunderbird 1700cc, I really, really enjoyed riding that bike. I only got it in August after replacing the Indian Chieftain Limited, which I had, as you know, some epic trips on. Scotland, the Alps, Monaco, Pyrenees, Picos, you name it. I went there on that bike, and I did have an incredible time, and it was really a top bike, and I haven't forgotten it, and I haven't forgotten the days that I spent riding with like-minded Indian riders, because I met some great people through that brand and through that motorcycle. And so if you're an Indian rider that I haven't seen you for a long time, a special Merry Christmas goes out to you guys, and again, stay safe. and I know that most of you are, you know, enjoying your bikes like I enjoy mine. And I think really when it comes to brands, you know, very much there is, you know, all these brands. There's Harley, there's Indian, there's Triumph. I mean, there's the multitude of bike makes that we all, you know, aspire to. That this is the best bike on the planet, and you know, you get your cut and you stick your badges all over it. And I've just done that as well. I do that. Put the badges on. I like to belong to the and promote, I suppose, the brand. Although I don't know why, because you pay so much for these bikes, and then you spend all your life promoting the brand, their brand, for which you get nothing in return. But that's the way it is. But I think at the end of the day, boat riding bikes is all about not necessarily the brand. It's being on the two wheels. It's being that community that you meet up with and that you become a part of, and you know, you get out on your bike and kind of, it's like a freedom, you know. It's I thoroughly enjoy it. And you know, the solo traveling for me is awesome. Although you set off solo, but then you meet people on the way, so you're never alone. You walk into a dealership, you know, and they're kind of all over you, and it's kind of like a global club in a way, without it being a club. I'm not really a club person. But yeah, and I think it's important. And a friend of mine said to me once, don't ditch everything when you change brand, because you know, you've got memories, happy memories of, you know, what you were riding before, or the experiences and the people you met. So I'm setting up a sort of a corner now, where I can kind of go, yeah, that's the bike I had. That's where I went on that bike, and those are the memories. And I kind of made a visual. I've got another picture coming, but I've got one up now, which I'm going to show you, because it really is it was a great shot. It was on the Indian. It was this year. It was in June. I think it was May, June. It was only 4 degrees on the top of this mountain, and I just stopped and I just took this picture, and it just kind of epitomizes what solo bike riding is all about. There was nobody up there, just me, and gosh, it was amazing. So I'm going to put that picture on for you at the end here. And in the meantime, to finish this round, this very short video up again, please subscribe, share this. I need more subscribers, because I want people to be able to experience what I'm experiencing, and particularly this next year, hoping the vlogging quality will go up as I get more experience with it. And as I say, the 360 will bring better imagery for you all to enjoy. And then you can come along with me for the ride, and see what it's all about, experience it. Hopefully get yourselves in the sort of mindset where you think, actually, I wouldn't mind doing that myself. So yeah, in the meantime, have a great Christmas, an amazing New Year when it comes around. Stay safe. That's the most important thing. Stay very safe. And love to all your families as well. And yeah, I'll speak to you again in the new year. And here's that pic of the bike up on the top of the mountains in France, which was awesome. It was actually in the Alps, but yeah. Cheers for now. I'm gone.